So, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know I used to post on a very, very regular basis, and well, kind of hasn't been happening lately, and I thought I kind of owed everybody an explanation on why that is. So, a little over a year and a half ago, I actually took a new job working for a fishing tackle distributor that is out of the Milwaukee area. With this job, I actually have to do a tremendous amount of traveling throughout Michigan here, and essentially I travel draw a line from like Kalkaska, Traverse City, south, and a little bit into Indiana for a customer there. So I have to do a ton of travel every single week when I'm on the road. Now, the first year of having this new job, I was able to find a nice, healthy balance between making a few videos a week, getting my work done, taking care of things here at home, spending time with my wife and my dogs. Fast forward to February, March of this year, 2020 has been just a shitstorm of clusterfuckness over and over again. Every time something goes wrong, I just like to say, hey, 2020. The first year of having that job, it wasn't too difficult finding time to do videos here and there. I would take some evenings, go fish, catch a few fish, put out some videos. You know, the Muskegon Lake, there's the northern Michigan gem hunt. That was actually a really cool week. Kind of took some vacation time and spent a lot of time perusing northern Michigan and found some really cool lakes. So if you haven't seen that series, check that out. Then, you know, once you got into like September, I kind of went MIA, and that's because that is my busy time of the year to basically make most of my money for the entire year. It's really, really important that I spend a lot of time with my customers, doing orders, helping them restock their stores and plan out for the next season with all the new items. In a normal year, I'd actually be spending about a week or so over in Wisconsin at what we do a big old like expo kind of show, kind of like Novi, but for the retail stores, a lot of vendors there, and that would tie me up for about a month to a month and a half, and then I could get back to doing fishing videos. Well, last winter we didn't get a winter, so there was really no ice fishing videos that came out for me. I did do plenty of ice reports and kept you guys in the loop of what was going on. Just because I was waiting for, business to pick up, and it never did last winter. Now we look back at, this year, around February, March, April, COVID happened. We had the 2 weeks to slow the spread, turned into 2 months to slow the spread, and yada, 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 yada. The governor outlawed boats, so during that stay-at-home time, I was allowed to go out and go fish. You saw a lot of content happening. Got out and do some perch fishing. Got my dad some yellow perch. He absolutely loves it. He's out now, so I got to somehow get a hold of some fish for him. Take care of that. But then the governor outlawed boats and shut down predominantly all retail stores. So I was stuck working from home. Couldn't go fishing. Kind of hard to make content when you're stuck in house, but I had about 6 customers there for the 2-week period that were open, and then slowly everybody started coming on board, and at that point I started realizing that the supply chain for fishing tackle was going to be severely strained, and I kind of saw it coming back in March. I didn't think the U.S. was going to get hit with this COVID SARS-2 virus like we did at that time. Hindsight, you probably should have seen it coming. Most of you are probably aware of this, but some people may not realize this, is that much of the fishing tackle that you see in the stores comes from overseas suppliers, mainly from the Asian area. China, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Vietnam. So there's a lot of fishing tackle that's being made over there. Well, I started seeing the supply chain get really, really stressed and strained. And at that point, I decided that my number one goal is going to have to be taking care of my customers and not the YouTube channel. As much as I absolutely love making videos for you guys, doing fishing reports and all that, it was kind of bad making fish reports, encouraging people from other states to come up to Michigan at that time because the virus was hitting us pretty hard. So I didn't want to be part or feel like I was encouraging people to come up here and come fish in May and June as well. So I stayed away from making my usual fishing report videos, and quite honestly didn't have a ton of time to even do them because in June we were let loose again. The month of June, I drove 6,000 miles just in the state of Michigan in a 4-week period, and never went north of Traverse City and never went really into Indiana. I mean, I went down to my one customer down there and seen him, but I never really did a ton of traveling other than right there. And at this point in the year, the writing was on the wall. Supply chain was getting very, very stressed and strained. And I need to do everything possible to keep my customers in a loop, making sure they have product for you guys so you can go out and enjoy the outdoors while many of you guys were laid off. So as the years progressed, now we're in like June, July, and just the supply chain is so stressed and strained. The orders are coming in so fast to every single fishing tackle wholesaler, distributor, manufacturer, because there's so many more people fishing. To kind of put it in perspective, in 2019, Smithwick Association, they basically track angler and hunter numbers in the country. There was 10.1 million anglers new in 2019. So that's a huge bump up in the industry for a lot of stores. That was really, really good. Now throw on top of that, you have COVID happen in 2020, and you have people that haven't hunted or fished in 5+ years, or may have never, ever done it, that is now needing equipment. So your rods, your reels, your terminal tackle, the stuff that you always see stores have, is now non-existent. We would get semi-trucks into our warehouse and it would immediately disappear that same day, or within a day or two, it would already be out the door. So it was non-stop, just orders. So everybody started getting backed up. Some of the bigger distributors in the country were on a 1 month to 6-week delay on getting orders out to retailers. So that just made things really, really tough. The company I work for, the worst we ever got was 2 weeks. And for my customers here in the state of Michigan, I went over to Wisconsin, spent a week each month actually pulling orders to catch them up, get them as much product as possible out to them. So again, no way I'm making videos. I was working 12, 14-hour days in the warehouse over Wisconsin when I was over there. I come back home, get a breath, kind of figure out where I'm going to go for the next 3 weeks, and spent 3 weeks straight driving, living in hotels, living in the back of my truck. When I could get campsites, because the campgrounds were crazy packed as well, because people just had no other option but to enjoy the great outdoors, which is absolutely phenomenal. So proposal 1, make sure you vote yes on it so there's more access to the great outdoors here in Michigan and public lands. I know, a little bit of politics in there, but we'll leave that at that. So essentially, I have been just running around the state of Michigan, and when I haven't been on the road, I have literally been staring at my laptop, looking at inventory levels, emailing customers, making phone calls. I had a notebook of what customers were looking for on a regular basis, and looking at reports, trying to find them product, trying to figure out how to get people product faster all summer long. And it just took a lot out of me, that once I had free time, I really just wanted to rest, spend time with my wife, spend time with my dogs. Well, around July 3rd, the wife was back to work finally, and she was working an absolute ton. And I had, a couple days around the 4th of July weekend that I don't like to travel and bother customers on a holiday weekend at all. So that week I kind of stayed home, got caught up on paperwork, and I got so caught up, I was like, you know what? I can go out for an afternoon of fishing. And if you follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, you probably know where I'm going with this. I was out on Lake Sinclair, No cameras, just a good old-fashioned go out, enjoy the lake, and go fish kind of deal. A few hours into the trip, I flipped my bilge pump on because I do it on a regular basis. I check to make sure I don't have water because it is a bass boat, so sometimes waves can wear the back and get into the boat when I get off pad and so on and so forth. And it's just a good habit when you're in big water to always check the bilge to make sure you're not taking on water. And I flipped it on. There's always a little bit of water that gets in there, especially when I come off pad really hard and get a little water off the back and that. But this time, the bilge stayed on very, very long. So, I emptied the boat, went back to fishing, flipped it back on before changing spots. Nothing happened. I was like, okay, took some water over the back, no big deal. Didn't really think much of it at that point. Then took off, got to my next spot, and I flipped the bilge back on just to check to see, maybe I got something going on, and I had a bunch of water in. And at this point, I'm like, is my plug not in? So I reached down back of the boat, all the way down to my shoulder, and the plug is there. So the plug is in the boat. At this point, I'm wondering, how am I taking on water? I'm looking, and I can't see anything. The plug's in. Live well's not cracked. Everything's fine there. The live well's not pumping water into the boat. In fact, I had it on empty, and it was dry. It was bone dry, so there was no water in the system. So what I deduced was there was something wrong with the hull of the boat, that when I was on plane, I would be inundating the inside of the hull with water. That's not a good thing. So at that point, I was done fishing. I decided to head back into the boat ramp. By the time I got to the boat ramp, the boat was full of water again. It felt a little sluggish and just was not a good scenario. Got the boat in the trailer. I could not find anything at all. Emptied the boat totally, drove it home, decided to put the hose in the boat, and found a leak way up by the bow of the boat. So now, my only, one of my only ways to kind of relax in the summertime is go out and spend time in the water. Had plans to take me and the wife out and, just hang out, enjoy Lake St. Clair, enjoy the weather. And that didn't happen. We both didn't have a ton of free time, and we still don't have a ton of free time right now. So I get home, put a hose in it. I got a split in the hull. I called my dealer and ran it up to them. It took over 2 months to finally get it to the factory, and now it's been there at the factory now 4 or 5 weeks now, and I still have yet to get an update on where we're at with the warranty claim on that. Found some broken welds internally on it as well that probably led to the hull splitting like it did. So yeah, my boat is back at the factory right now, getting a warranty claim, figured out what's going to happen with it. So kind of got a little depressed, honestly. Didn't have the boat, just kind of got in this weird funk that when I did have free time, I did not want to go fish. Didn't want to talk about fishing because everything I do in my life right now is fishing oriented. The day job, doing YouTube. As much as I love it, I needed a break from it, and I decided to take the rest of the summer off from it, no matter what. So that meant no fishing reports either once travel kind of got back to normal for many people, but still there's a lot of people laid off. So that doesn't help you guys that watch my channel for the fishing report, so I do apologize for that. But I didn't really have much of a choice. I needed to just tune all that out so my head could get right and I can just get myself right to help my customers. Because if you remember earlier in the story, I talked about September, me having to go to Wisconsin for that week for our show and help my customers. There's a big build-up leading up to that. Sales meeting in August where I'm there for, basically almost a whole week. Well, COVID made all those plans cancel, so that didn't happen. So now all my customers need to buy ice fishing tackle. They need to buy summer tackle for next year. And there is nothing left in the supply chain. So essentially right now, I've spent an absolute ton of time on the road. All day meetings with customers. Helping them figure out what's new, what they need to order, going through their stores with them, basically just filling empty pegs. And it's just, there's not much time left in the day to go fish, even for myself. There was a couple opportunities I got to go play around over in Grand Rapids, on the Thornapple River and the Grand River. I got to do a couple days over where I got, some appointment times I had to get adjusted. I had the salmon steelhead stuff in the back of the truck. I got to go for salmon. Didn't film any of it. I just didn't have that drive to want to make videos. I wanted to enjoy fishing for why I enjoy fishing for myself, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can understand that when you do work, sometimes you got to have an escape, and fishing has always been an escape. Outdoors has always been my escape, but I chose to make it my career as well, so it's not always an escape. So we're in October now, and I'm still working with customers, writing orders. We're just now getting around to doing the summer products, which normally we're done. Normally by this time last year, I'm done. I have products shipping out like crazy. Our warehouse is just busy as can be. And though our warehouse is busy, we're not done writing orders. And I got a feeling I will be writing orders well into the end of November for next year. So you guys have product in these stores. I'm doing my best to get everybody stocked up. And I figured, instead of me making videos, I'm better off helping the local retailers around you get product as best as I can, so you can go fish and enjoy the outdoors when you have time. So, that's where I've been. I guess part of me kind of feels guilty for, not making videos for you guys. And part of me is saying, you know what, you got to take care of yourself too, and I just have had to do that as of late. So that is the long story of why I haven't been making videos. So if you stuck around for the entire video, I do appreciate you guys. If you clicked on this going, oh my god, Justin's making videos again, I can't promise anything, guys. I'm going to try to make a little more effort to make some videos, because I kind of got the drive to do it again, using some new equipment as well right now. So kind of excited to use that and see how it looks on the channel. I guess at this point, might as well just go to what I always go, and tell you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click down below. Though I'm guessing only subscribers are going to watch this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Either way, it's good to know what you think. And as always, guys, keep winding, keep grinding. We'll see you in the next video.